another episode of Get a Load of This. From the Silver Creek Studios, I'm Jared.
I am Ryan.
I'm Rebecca. I didn't know I had to say my name. Sorry. I'm watching the line.
Perfect.
Bop,
Exactly.
bop, bop.
Exactly what I expected.
Yep. We have a special guest with us this evening.
Yes.
Ryan's lovely sister.
Well, I
who
wouldn't
he
go that
talks
far.
about all the time. Nearly every episode you get mentioned.
She's she's my big sister.
Yeah.
My my older sister. My smaller than me but older sister.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, she's pretty cool, and we've seen some shit. So yeah, I do talk about her a lot. But she's been asking.
I listen too.
Yeah, and she listens to every
almost
episode.
always
yeah.
in a positive light.
Yeah, almost
Yep,
always. Yeah.
Almost.
You know. But yeah, she listens, and she's been asking for a long time to come on. So here we are.
Yeah.
And we had to come up with something to talk about. And
Well, I
we
mean,
did.
something that I felt somewhat comfortable with to
And it's
start.
already
I mean,
controversial. We haven't even started
Right,
yet, and
right.
we're ready to go to blows over it.
Well, whatever. Everybody has opinions.
But before we start, we're going to drink some beer.
We're
Oh.
gonna right off the bat,
Yeah.
right out of the fucking gate, we're going to drink some beer.
I brought it.
So
She did.
Ryan's sister, because I'm just going to call
Nope.
you Ryan's sister the rest of the night. But
Just
You can
call her
me
back.
Rebecca.
I heard
Rebecca,
I heard
Becca.
you don't want to be called Becky.
Unless you want my mom to slap shit out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe that was also made
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've talked about that.
All right. Yeah. So Ryan brought you like some foo-foo girly drinks.
Right.
Yeah.
What the hell, Ryan?
So here he decides to get me girly drinks, and I
Well, look.
bring this dark, thick
Yep.
stout for y'all to
That's right.
taste.
Right. Well,
And I like it.
I really just wanted an excuse. Here's the real story. So we're not going to do it this episode, I guess. We're not going to do our fruity, girly stuff. We're going to do thick stout.
I would be more than happy to come back and try fruity girly.
So
Yeah,
we can do
we'll
that.
do that.
We're going to do maybe another one after this. We'll do a half loaded, and
Lord
we can.
have mercy.
Oh, you'll
I'm
be
gonna turn
fine.
into a pumpkin.
You'll be all right.
All right.
And I'll call you an Uber. We'll,
No.
have one with a flatbed
Still
that
have to
can
get
take your
to work tomorrow.
Uber.
Okay.
So
Do you have Uber here in Water?
so I was going to say.
I don't know.
You were
Oh,
talking
I've been
about
looking for an
Drink beer.
excuse to drink a Truly or a White Claw. Any of these, I've seen them. I know what they're about. It's kind of like the modern Zima, I think, kind of deal. It's the very girly drink, I think. I don't know. Maybe that's a
Zima was
misogynistic
malt
thing to say.
beverage, whereas Truly and
Is a seltzer?
White Claw is more of a seltzer.
Yes, I don't know what the difference there is either, but I don't know how they're made. I don't know anything about them, but
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to try it, and I just need a good excuse that won't get my man card revoked. So,
I was going to be the
So yeah,
excuse.
having a broad on the fucking podcast was gonna solve that. Yeah, and then she goes and throws a wrench in it. But little known fact: Jared is an aficionado of fruity
I
alcoholic
am,
beverage.
yeah.
He does.
What do you like, Bartles and James or something? I mean,
He
like,
wouldn't
let's
turn it
define.
down.
I would drink that.
Let's
no.
define fruity.
Back in the day, I was a Mike's Hard Lime or a Smirnoff Ice.
I mean, I don't hate them,
You
but
know, because I used to not like beer at all. I didn't enjoy it.
Same.
Period.
Well,
and now I love it.
I puked on it whenever I was like 15.
That'll do.
So
Well,
that
See, he started
sealed my
hanging around with
fate.
me. I broke him like an old mare,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
here he is. He's a seasoned beer
I can't
drinker.
remember
All
the
right.
last time I had a Smirnoff.
So I'm going to talk about my beer.
Yeah,
like you
tell
guys
us.
do.
Yep.
So it is called Arabicadabra. I picked it because it has a cool label, and because the guy at Friar Tuck said that there's the coffee stouts.
Coffee
over
stouts.
there.
Mhm.
So this is considered a coffee milk stout, which actually in and of itself sounds really disgusting
Yep.
because the whole milk part throws you off. However, I like a heavy beer. I
Okay.
like a strong finish. I don't want it to lay on my tongue, but I want to know that it was there.
All right.
All right.
Okay?
That's probably a more
I
detailed.
know that it was there.
Well, yeah, a more detailed description of a beer than we've ever really given.
Yeah. We're
So-
usually like,
Almost
it's
sounded like you
pretty
knew what the
good.
hell you were talking about.
Well, when it comes to the dark shit, I do.
All right. Yeah.
So, but, however, I don't know how to pour very well.
yeah,
Tilt the
that's
cup. There you go.
I'm
You're doing it
gonna
right.
try.
There you go.
Wow, it came out
Wow.
like syrup.
So it does
No
look
shit.
thick.
Yeah, that's
And here, go ahead and pass.
okay.
Puff, puff,
pass.
pass.
Oh.
shit. That's funny.
For you, my
Thank you, ma'am.
non-coffee drinking friend.
Yeah, this
and
is
if you
not
don't
gonna
have
be,
cooties, you can just pour it right in
No,
here
it's
whenever
all right.
you're done tasting it. Don't cheat.
That's what
I'm
I did
just-
with yours last
Wafting.
time that you didn't drink, that I just poured yours
Yeah, I
into
just
my
let
mug.
you have it.
Here, then take the baby one.
Yeah, okay. That's totally fine because I'm certain that I won't
So is-
enjoy it as much as you.
Now, hold on.
And
So-
it's simply because you don't like the taste of coffee, because this does have a strong coffee
Yeah,
taste. And I
that's
didn't know
basically
that, so
what
I
it is. No,
apologize.
that's okay. Yeah, I don't drink coffee at all. I don't like it. And so when beer tastes like coffee, I don't like that.
The other
But
beer that I brought is also an
best
IPA.
Advice would,
Yeah,
my
which
best
I know
advice
neither
would
one of you are
be
gonna
to
like.
just, go ahead and open throat that thing.
Okay.
And then that way it doesn't, because it doesn't hang out on your tongue. So it smells like coffee.
It does.
And
smells
it looks
very much like coffee.
It looks like coffee. I'm pretty sure it is coffee.
Yeah. Now, the milk part, I don't really
Walks
get.
like a duck.
I'm gonna
Talks
have
like a
you
duck.
get up on the
Sorry.
mic. That's okay.
The milk
There you
part,
go.
I don't get necessarily, but that's
Yeah.
what, that's
All right, here
what
we
they
go.
call
Okay,
it. So,
we're gonna do this.
cheers.
Huh.
Oh, that's so good. I enjoy that so much.
Very coffee-ish.
Yep, it is.
Jared's face. I'm sorry, I didn't know you
Yep.
didn't
No,
like
that's
coffee
okay.
that much.
Sure is.
Look, here
Not
I was
at
trying
all.
to be all cool, like one of the cool kids.
No, I mean,
bringing my beer.
It's good.
It's a cool beer, I gotta say.
Yeah,
you are
'cause check
super
out the
cool.
label.
Yeah, can I look at it?
Arabicadabra.
Yeah, get it.
Arabica.
The coffee beans,
Abracadabra.
and
Yeah,
then it's
I
got
gotcha.
Dracula on the front. You know how much I
Dracula?
like vampires.
No, it doesn't have Dracula.
It's got a
Who is
magician.
It's a
it?
magician,
Whatever, he
but
looks like
that's
Dracula.
okay.
Like
me
at
see.
first look, it looked like Dracula.
That's a
I
magician.
mean, it's a creepy magician. So.
Yeah,
It is a creepy-ass
Dracula-looking magician.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
So out of the corner of my eye, as I'm walking through Friar Tuck's, I saw that and I was like, "Ooh, cool!" So
Yeah,
there it is.
yeah.
So I bought a six-pack.
Did you read this already?
I told you I didn't bring my glasses.
A
I
little
can't see
brewer's
shit.
magic transforms locally roasted Arabica beans and a variety of specialty malts into a creamy, intense coffee stout. Enjoy before it disappears.
And this is a Bell's brewer.
It's
Yeah,
local.
Bell's from where?
Isn't it Columbia?
Comstock, Michigan.
Oh, I thought it was local.
No.
Oh, maybe that's the other one that we bought.
But it's well known. The Bell's, what's the ale with the owl?
Don't know.
And as much as you guys talk about how things burp,
Yep.
it burps well.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'll be burping coffee all night.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. You can drink your sock juice here in a little bit, and it'll make
He
it
doesn't
go
like
away.
that either. So I brought the IPAs, but I didn't bring it intending to share it. I brought it because it looked
Asshole.
good, sounded good.
So since I shared the one that y'all didn't like, will you dig in there and get me the one so that I can have it?
Oh yeah, sure. Hold
Appreciate it.
on. Do I still have it? Okay.
Yeah, because one will make me silly. So. Uh-oh.
Oh, we have a thing.
Yeah, we do.
It's right there.
Oh, is it the...
It is. You'll enjoy it.
I don't know that...
Just give it a little pop.
Look at that. That's pretty awesome,
she
isn't it?
says.
Cool.
So
All right.
anyway, what we're gonna do
I don't know what
this
to do with it.
this episode
I need more
is
space.
so we've done Sweet 16s before. We've
Yep.
done movie review-ish type things. We've done a lot about movies, but we like movies. And
Sorry about that.
If you want, there's a bottle koozie. Keep a little cold.
No, there's not much left.
Okay.
And
right, you
yeah,
poured
so
it
we decided we were going to do a Sweet 16 of coming of age 80s movies. So first it was like 80s movies, and I was like, that's really broad.
That's
Oh, yeah,
huge.
for sure.
Yeah, so we
That
had
would
to
take
narrow
a
it down,
week.
and I said, okay, we'll just do like coming of age movies.
Narrow it down is a relative term
And
in
so,
Ryan's.
right. So, and then
viewpoint.
whenever Jared asked, like, well, what do you mean by coming of age? I was like, well, okay, like, like John Hughes movies, basically what I said, right? Something
Pretty
like
much. And you listed a few
Yeah, right.
specific examples, which was
So, and that's
And-
the impression that I had, too.
that. Right.
Right.
So, and that's fine. But I just went a
You
little
veered
broader
off the
than
path.
that.
a little broader.
Well, I
he put
mean, like,
Empire
so I-
Strikes Back on his list.
That is...
A
And
little
Red
broader.
Dawn. I
Red
mean,
Dawn
come
is definitely.
Dawn.
on. No,
Right.
but when you
That's
can't
in my-
compare any John Hughes film to Red Dawn.
Right.
Well, if
in
the
any way.
Look, the idea is coming of age.
I understand.
I mean,
do. But
look,
we put it in
the
a different...
Rooskies will make you fucking grow up like a motherfucker.
Okay, we've talked about this. It's all about perspective. And our perspective was
It's
taken
like
a little bit different.
Okay, we've talked about this, and we both go, yes, ma'am.
I'm simply
It's a whole
saying
different fucking ballgame down here.
Jared and I's
Shit,
perspective
we've lost
was
control.
clearly different than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I feel like we were given guidance on what to do.
Based on the fact
and
that
then
he
Ryan
mentioned
comes
John
with,
Hughes films. So I compared all of mine to John Hughes
How big was your
films.
list?
I have 66.
This is like
66.
752.
Yeah.
I have all of the movies made in the 80s
Right.
on my
Right.
list.
All the movies.
But anyway,
And
so
I'm
how
not
we're gonna
trying
do...
to give you shit
No.
a whole lot,
Well,
but
most of them were on there just because it was like, ooh.
because it was fun.
Well, it was
yeah.
kind of fun. I was having fun. I was hard to eliminate some. Some were
Yeah.
on there because I was like, it's not on my list, but I'm pretty sure it would be on your list,
Mm-hmm.
and then it wasn't.
Because I followed the rules.
Well, right, but no, even the ones
I
that like
felt
I
like I
thought,
followed the
like I
rules.
thought that, Like Risky Business.
Yeah.
That's not on your list.
I didn't really like the movie.
What?
Yeah.
Really? All
Never
right.
was a fan. I don't like Rebecca
And I
De
feel
Mornay.
like it's not
How about
coming
another
of
one?
age either. Like,
Yes, sure it is.
but I mean, he starts out as this doing his scam or whatever, and by the end,
I think he's kind of a nerdy.
He was a spoiled rich kid, given a little bit of responsibility by his parents.
And he blew it.
Completely fucks it up and has to grow up real fucking fast and deal with some
So that he
dirty
can
motherfuckers
recover.
in order to get his ass out of it.
But
yeah,
the reason it's not on my list, I don't like Rebecca De Mornay.
Yeah, I'm with you. She wasn't the best character in there.
She's never been a good character. I just don't like her. Hand the Rock's a Cradle. Only good movie because she dies.
And then All the Right Moves was on there on here too that I thought you might pick another Tom Cruise movie. It's did you I don't want to spoil. Well, I mean, Outsiders. Yeah. So I mean, some of these
So good.
Well, right. So that's not really a happy, funny movie.
It's not necessarily happy, funny, but like I put it into the whole coming of age. This young group of boys.
Okay, so how do you have a problem with War Games but not Outsiders?
I didn't have a problem with War Games.
kinda
I have
like
a
War
problem
Games.
with Red Dawn.
Red Dawn is what I meant.
Because
Sorry.
I feel like the focus isn't so much about the kids growing up. The focus is about the war.
It's very, very much about the kids growing up.
Okay, well, again, perspective.
I mean, look, Patrick Swayze.
And I just like looking at
I
it.
feel like if you can classify it more as an action movie, then it's not a coming of age movie. It's an action movie.
I think you're wrong, but okay,
Hey.
fair enough. Yeah, you guys picking on my fucking list.
I'm not
So here's
picking
how
on-
we're gonna do it.
As soon as you mentioned Empire Strikes Back, you lost.
Well, that one was
the
a
whole
stretch.
argument.
That one
You
was
definitely
a stretch.
threw the challenge flag up at that point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Empire Strikes Back.
I will say that Corey mentioned it, and I was like, "Well, yeah, it's a coming of age," and he's like, "Yeah, right." I mean,
No,
Luke's figuring
Corey,
shit
you're
out.
dumb.
But wouldn't A New Hope have been the real coming of age?
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
he
but that
starts
wasn't
out
in the 80s.
literally as a.
Or it wasn't in the 80s.
You're
It was in
right.
70s.
True.
So
When you say 80s, yeah.
Otherwise, yes,
was
it
already
would have been on the list.
Force wielding lightsaber.
I don't think she likes Star
I
Wars.
hate
Yeah.
Star Wars.
I love
Shit.
Star Wars, but anywho,
I just don't
so
get
what
it.
we're going to do is we're going to start with our guest Rebecca, and she's going to pick a film from your list that you think.
And this is just random order.
Well, I would say your first one would be your
pick
favorite
top
one.
5 because you ain't going
Okay.
to get to 15 or whatever.
Yeah, we're only putting 16 on the list,
Okay, so
so you pick your best one
pick my best one.
and then mark it off.
I'm going to go with St. Elmo's Fire.
All right, St. Elmo's Fire. And I'm going to pull a random number from this pile of bullshit here, and we're going to say St. Elmo's Fire goes to number. I'm hoping that's a 6.
The problem is, though, is that if y'all haven't seen St. Elmo's Fire, there's no way to truly give it.
That's never stopped us before.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You haven't even seen it.
I've seen parts of it. I know the gist of it. All right, she's used her
so
first one. St.
disappointed.
Elmo's Fire is
So
off the board.
the idea here was you were going to pick a movie, we were going to randomly grab a number,
Right.
and that's where it gets assigned
on
on
the
the
board.
seating. Okay.
And then they challenge one another.
Right, but we got to fill
Right.
out the bracket first.
So
Sure,
am
sure,
I
sure.
up?
You're up.
Okay. Only because I want this to for sure get in. Big.
Okay.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
I pulled number 16, so it's the shittiest one of the.
Great.
No, I like Big, and it's definitely
It's going to get the upset.
specifically a coming of age. You know, I mean, it's
It's
like
about as
very much
literally,
focused on it.
Yeah.
I am going to pick. I had.
He has to scroll through 7 pages to get back to the
not
top.
really.
Of the
I highlighted
Yeah.
my top
Keep
10
scrolling.
or whatever. Weird Science, and Weird Science goes to number 5.
Does that mean it's going to challenge St. Elmo's Fire?
No,
Okay. Me up now?
you up?
The Outsiders.
Okay, Outsiders, good one.
Oops.
Is number 12.
Son of a bitch.
Outsiders
Oh, balls.
Man.
goes up against Weird Science.
We
Jared,
have a pen
go.
if you want. Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh wow, that's number 11. Writing.
Elizabeth Shue, by the way, I'm just going to say.
Yep.
That's all I need to say.
I gotta
Ooh,
pick another one.
In that. Okay, wait. So when was Cocktail? Not coming of
88.
age.
That was still 80. I think it was like 80,
88.
89.
But it wasn't coming
No,
of
not-
age.
But
But she was super cute.
great
in that.
movie. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Stand By Me.
So do I cross that off too?
Yeah, you should. And
Unless you
that's
wanna say it
it pulled
again.
number 1.
Oh, my God. Okay.
That might stay there.
It doesn't matter. The numbers are just for our
Big.
randomizing.
It does matter when it goes against a movie I picked.
Well,
Thanks
but
a lot,
it doesn't
Ryan.
matter. And whammies are in effect too. So,
Oh, I forgot about the whammy.
so, all right. Who's that? That was me. You, Beck.
It's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go with The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club is number 4.
The quintessential 1980s coming of age.
Very
film.
good. That's a good one. It should be
Number 1.
Yeah, up there. Go.
Well, I put an asterisk next to this because I'm not entirely sure it qualifies, but I believe we all had it. Goonies.
Absolutely. Yep. I think that we should just agree that it qualifies.
Okay.
I don't know why it wouldn't.
Well, because it's more like adventure.
Awesome adventure.
Right.
But you know
All
what? I was
coming of
thinking about
age.
that, though, because the two kids whose, like they were going to take their house, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So they kind of had to grow up a little bit because they were sad and they had to help their parents out and they had to be strong for them. So I think that qualifies it as
They had to
coming of
fight
age.
a sloth.
No, Sloth
he
was
was their
good.
friend.
Well, originally
He
they had to
loved
fight
them.
him,
Rocky
but
Road.
right. But at the beginning, they had to get past the sloth because he was going to kill him,
Yeah.
and then they had to fight the dirty whatever Guidaldi brothers or whatever the fuck their name was.
It was,
You know?
yeah, and Mama.
And Mama, right? So, I mean, they were definitely dealing with some shit. You
Great
know,
movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. And it holds up. It definitely holds up.
Absolutely, it does. Whose turn is it? Did I do Goonies? I did.
I said Goonies.
Oh, you did. Okay,
Yep.
so okay.
It's your turn.
I got so many. Dead Poet Society,
That's a good one.
number 10.
An interesting choice.
That's a good one.
Okay,
Me?
you
Say anything.
good one.
I know.
Goes to number 2. So this is the easy part. It takes a little time, so we apologize because it's boring for anybody listening. But Jared,
Here's another one that's kind of a stretch. Ferris Bueller.
that's on my list too. I don't know.
It's
why
on my
a
list
stretch.
too. So we
it's
all
a stretch
agree.
because I don't know that they could really come of age.
No,
like
he
he's
just gets
has
away
a
with
fun
it.
day.
Yeah.
Now Cameron kind of comes
It's
of
more.
age.
It's more Cameron dealing
Cameron.
with some shit.
When Cameron was.
But I think it's Ferris learning
Right.
shit about
He does.
himself,
He
learning
kinda
about his
has
friends.
to-
He's gaining a little bit of responsibility,
Perspective
you know.
a little, yeah.
But he's also rebelling a little bit too, you know. It's a lot.
Go.
Fine,
He'll
he'll keep calling me.
God, I love that movie.
All right, you're up.
No, I just said Ferris
No,
Bueller.
he just said
Oh,
Ferris
you did.
Bueller. It's your
Damn
turn.
it.
That's the second time you've
It's
done that.
confusing
I'm
when
very
you're
confusing,
writing
yeah.
the list.
Oh boy. The Karate Kid gets
Wow.
number 14.
I still don't think of that as coming of age, but
I think it was.
because I mean, at the end, he's still fighting in a high school tournament.
Yeah, but
What
he
do you
has to
expect
grow.
him to be?
I feel like
it's
he
not
has
like
to like
he suddenly
overcome.
had to like pay for his mother's
hold on.
cancer treatment
But
or something.
we've said that. What was one of yours? Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You just said
right.
he was still in fucking high school at the
No,
end
and
of
I
it.
said it's a stretch.
All right. What was another one you mentioned?
I feel like he was a senior, so he really was.
Well, whatever. But what other one? Goonies.
Yeah.
They were still fucking
No,
little kids.
We're not
I just
disagreeing.
look at
We're
I
just
look
saying.
at coming of age as like you start out as this immature kid who's blown up fireworks
and
or
by
whatever,
the end of it,
and by
like
the end
somehow
you
you've
like
matured.
yeah, you either had to save the day or you totally matured and you got the older girl. Or
Which in Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
he
I
did.
guess
He got the girl. He beat the bad
matured.
guy.
right, but he
You
didn't
know?
have to.
Well, and
like,
him
mature
and
to do it.
Jeannie, kind
Sure
of
he did.
bonded and came together. And
Nah, whatever. All right.
He did have
true.
to
They did bond at the
learn
end.
to
And, yeah, they had to
accept
figure
the.
out. Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, look. I'm not arguing with you.
It's
Everybody
fine.
out there
It's
listening
good.
agrees
It's
with me.
fine.
Go back.
Karate Kid.
It's my turn
Everyone
again?
out
Yep.
there agrees with Ryan.
Yep.
Is what he just said.
Guaranteed.
So I'm going to go with one that most people probably haven't seen, but it's one of my favorites, and it's Satisfaction.
Now I gotta say I don't know what you're talking about. Who's in it? Anybody famous?
Justine Bateman,
Okay.
Julia Roberts,
Oh wow.
Liam Neeson.
They're in a band.
Besides that, who's in it that's famous?
Yeah. Anybody really famous?
So it's basically
They're in a band, right?
group of girls
Yeah.
from
Brooklyn, I think.
New York City, Brooklyn, Hell's Kitchen, someplace kind of rough. And they play in a band, and they get the opportunity to play it for the summer, and it gives them like they can it's room and board, and they get to play, et cetera, et cetera. And so they all go, and they all play, and Justine Bateman actually sings.
Yeah, and it's pretty good if I recall.
Yes. And great
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Just,
I
okay.
picture Justine Bateman as like 20 years younger than Liam Neeson.
Oh yeah, and that was the love interest.
Oh, okay.
But Liam, aged well.
Right.
Yeah, agreed. So,
I have a particular.
All right, well, we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay, is this my last one?
We have 1, 2, 3 spots left, so it'll be 1, 2. She'll get the extra one.
So many that we
She gets the
haven't
extra
mentioned
one.
that are
Right.
clear choices.
We can do a quick honorable mention after this.
Okay. I guess Dirty Dancing.
Real? Okay. Dirty Dancing, number 13. Dirty.
I don't particularly like that movie. I just think it belongs in a list of coming of age. But
Well, she's still just a little girl whenever it's at the end of it, so, you know.
sorry.
But
She's
she
not in the
lost her
corner.
V card.
There
She
was
did
like
lose her
abortion
virginity.
and shit going on. Come on.
Not for her.
Well, that's okay. I mean, that's coming of age, learning about those types of things and the diversity
you
in
guys
the
are
world.
shitting on mine. I'm just trying to
You
shit
got
back.
your dad who's kind of being a prick and talking bad about Johnny because he's just a house painter, and there's a lot of coming of age shit.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't think I said it yet, did I? Red Dawn.
Oh, my God. All right.
And that's number
Yep.
7.
I agree with you that they do come of age. But the fact that Red Dawn got on there and almost no other John Hughes movies did is bizarre. I'll just
I
say
honestly,
it's
as I was going
weird.
through this, I thought about saying no John Hughes movies.
okay.
Because
Well, that's
they're-
not fair.
Well, I know, but because they're kind of the obvious contenders. They're the
Okay.
obvious top 10, you know?
Yep.
So because I
You
did
got
the
one
last
more.
one,
You
and
get
I
one
have
more.
2 John Hughes
Well, go
movies,
ahead.
and I'm
Yeah.
struggling here between the 2 of them because they're both exceptional. The one is 16 Candles, which is clearly coming of age.
And
It
the
says
other
it
one
in the
is
friggin'
Pretty in
title.
Pink.
And Pretty in Pink is just so, and that's another one that holds up, and it's so
Yeah,
relevant. I'm
yeah.
going with Pretty in Pink.
I agree with you.
Going
I
with
think
Pretty
the
in
Pretty in Pink is better than 16
Yeah.
Candles. But, of course, it doesn't have the donger.
It does not have the donger.
But it's got a Duckie.
I love me some Duckie.
And Ducky
Yes.
might beat donger.
I love Duckie.
So we're going, what did I just say?
And it's also got Andrew Dice Clay. I mean, can't go wrong.
Right. So,
So,
fly is
yeah,
still here.
we have a fly in the studio
Should we
apparently
name
for
him?
the first time
Pretty in-
ever.
Let's give him a little, tiny little microphone. Okay, so
would
now
he
what
say?
happens?
I think we should briefly mention
Fucking
that
humans
some of
are
the
weird.
highlights that did not make the list.
yeah.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
No,
Six-
wait. I mentioned Breakfast Club.
But
It's
it-
on
That
there.
was
It's
my
on
Oh,
first-
is
there.
it?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
on there.
okay. Good. 16 Candles didn't get on
Yeah,
there.
which is sad.
Say Anything? Did that
Yeah,
get on
I
there?
don't think it did.
No, and it should have.
Lucas is not on there.
Lucas is a good one.
See, this is so hard.
It is.
No, Say Anything is on there. I named it.
No. Oh, wait. You
Shit.
crossed it off? I don't know.
Yeah, it is. I'm
Okay.
sorry. It is on there.
I wasn't paying attention. Never mind.
Yeah, I named Say Anything.
So,
All right, what do we got? What are the matchups? We're going to run out of time here.
we're going to get right into it. I don't think we need to read through them again
Okay.
too much. Well, I'll read them real quick. We have Stand By Me, Big, Goonies, Karate Kid, Weird Science, Outsiders, Red Dawn, Dead Poets Society, Say Anything, Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club. I feel like I read one twice. Dirty Dancing, St. Elmo's Fire, Adventures in Babysitting, Satisfaction, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So, I mean, the other ones that I had, did I say War Games? Did that make it? No, it did not.
No.
I like that one. That was one of mine that I had highlighted.
Lost Boys didn't make it. Some Kind of Wonderful
right.
didn't make it.
Did
Flashdance didn't make it.
Footloose?
Footloose didn't make it.
Yeah.
Can
One
you-
Crazy Summer.
Can you tell us what year War Games and Ferris Bueller?
I can. War Games was 1983.
Ferris Bueller was 86.
Yeah, War Games was 83,
Okay.
and Ferris
So that's
Bueller
a
was 86.
Pretty good distance apart.
Yeah.
But he's like a total nerd in the one and a total cool guy in the other.
Right.
It's completely different.
And,
stuff.
and you know, as I was putting my list together, and that's kind of why I end up going down some rabbit holes or whatever. But you see these trends of the same, you know, the Coreys, the
Yeah.
Feltman and Heyman,
Well,
and
the
then you
Brat
see
Pack.
right. But even outside the Brat Pack, you see Patrick Dempsey keeps coming up. You see this Amanda Peterson was only in. She was in a couple movies. She was in Explorers, and she was in Can't Buy Me Love. But these young actors that had these very brief careers, you know, even Molly Ringwald, she was Brat Pack, and she was a huge star, but she really didn't have that much. I mean, it was all
She
you
did
know,
almost
in a-
every John Hughes
Yeah, but it
film,
was all
though.
in like this little pocket of about
He wrote
7
them
years.
like
you know?
basically for
that,
her.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
and then she
surprised
did-
to see
John Cusack was all over the 80s, you
Yeah.
know?
So was his sister.
Breakfast Club and St. Elmo's Fire were the same year, I think. And that's like very different. Like, aren't they all adults with jobs and
Oh, absolutely.
whatever in St.
But there
Elmo's
was
Fire,
no
and
the
then they're,
only
like, high
the
school
only
kids?
crossover from Breakfast Club to St. Elmo's Fire is Emilio Estevez.
Oh, I was thinking, who's the goth chick?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, Ali
I believe
Sheedy. I'm
she's
sorry,
Sheedy.
you're right, Ali
Yeah.
Sheedy. Okay, so there's
Just-
two
just
crossovers.
the two of them?
Yep.
Okay.
Other than
I
that,
guess I was thinking there was a third, but okay, I don't know.
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, no. You're right. And it's plays
I forget.
Alex in St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh,
Judd.
yeah.
Oh,
Hirsch.
yeah.
Nelson.
No, Judd Nelson.
Nelson.
Judd Hirsch is a
Judd Hirsch
completely
is
different
Taxi.
thing.
Yeah. Judd Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was several crossover characters.
Yeah.
All right, let's
See?
get into this.
Did I mention Mask?
No, but that movie creeps me out.
Oh my God, that's an amazing
It's
movie.
a really good movie. I don't even like Cher, but I like that movie.
I love
and
Cher.
well, it's got Sam Elliott too, which
Yes,
he's a
everybody loves
bad
him.
mamma jamma.
All he has to do is say hello.
Yeah.
And most women are like, I'll be back.
Yeah, he's a panty dropper.
Yes.
As a young lad, I had an issue with disfigurement and things
Yeah.
like that. And
Well,
it's
that's a
just
true
kinda
story. That's the
I
other thing
know.
is that
Yeah.
I
just
think
kinda
that
weird to me.
it was weird. I agree. It was
I'm sorry.
off-putting or whatever. But I think that's kind of what was
supposed to
so
be,
great
right?
about the movie
Yeah.
is that
Overcoming
he was
that.
an endearing person, an endearing character, and you as you watch the movie, the audience started to kind of see past his disfigurement and really
Exactly.
grow to love this character.
And who would have known? Eric Stoltz.
Right.
I know, right?
Did you also know that Eric Stoltz was originally cast as Marty McFly,
I did
right?
know that.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did
And it was
not.
And they
pretty-
actually did
pretty awful what I saw.
several. Yeah, they did several. They're out there on the
And
internet.
he just was
He
not
wasn't good. Yeah.
not cutting the mustard.
Right.
Huh? Interesting. Okay,
Damn it,
so
Ryan. All right. So anyway, I read them all. We need to go any further
All right,
into
let's do this.
but I do like the themes of people that just kept showing up, the River Phoenixes and the, Rob Lowe and Matt Dillon. C. Thomas Howell, he was all over the fucking 80s too. Anthony Michael Hall. It's
Matthew
like
Broderick,
Matthew
all
Matt
over.
yeah.
Dillon. Oh,
Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
And his brother.
he still might be Kevin Dillon.
Kevin Dillon,
He kind of
yeah.
sucked
Yeah.
until he did
He
Entourage.
was like the
he
great
really
value Dillon. Yeah.
like maybe
Great value.
shopping set. Not
President's
even like I
choice.
don't even know what you'd call him.
Right.
Like the yellow label. That's the
Yeah.
true generic.
Right.
Until he did Entourage. Then he was good in
But what about
Entourage.
what's the Dillon that was in Entourage? Is that Kevin?
That's Kevin.
He seems like he's too old to do that. I thought that they had another nephew
Just
or
the two
something
of
that
them.
was another Dillon.
Nope.
They all look alike.
It's just the two of them.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
not.
Put
No,
on my
Matt
Dillons.
Dillon's hot. Kevin Dillon's not. There's a hard
All right.
hard difference between the two of them.
I never liked Matt Dillon because he always had this sort of dumb personality or
He was just a
demeanor.
dick.
You know,
I
It was
liked
just
I
like-
liked his like bad boy douchebag.
Yeah.
So we also didn't talk about William Zabka, who
Oh,
was
that ignorant guy in
Billy.
Karate Kid.
yeah, but he was always like the asshole in every movie he was
Right.
in. He was in
He was the bully.
Back to School. He was the bad guy there. It's like that's a great character though, and also what a great career.
To just be the bully.
Yeah,
just
I mean
to
if
be
you're
the
gonna
asshole.
have a lackluster Hollywood career, I mean at least be memorable for something, right?
And now he's on the
Yes.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, now he's the star of the
sequel
YouTube
on
one.
YouTube. Yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna get started.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
No, I thought we were starting.
We're gonna start going through
Yeah.
rank. We're gonna go head to head.
Okay, let's do this.
We'll make our cases.
Number one.
Stand By Me and Big.
Oh man, wow.
It's a big matchup right off the jump.
Becca, do you want to go first with your reasoning why you would prefer one or the other?
Okay, I would have to probably go with Stand By Me, and this isn't tricky for me, only because I feel like when we talk about it being a coming of age, I just feel like there's so many lessons taught in that, and it's so
Well, it's a bonding of these
it's
kids.
a huge
life
bonding,
lessons
and
yeah.
and then I like the fact that there's always a story afterwards, so you know
Right.
what happened to him. That's
And
Stephen
even
King.
Kiefer Sutherland and his group in that movie, they even come of age.
Sure.
They even learn
Yeah,
some shit. They're
no.
the bad guys, but
Absolutely.
the whole crew
Yeah.
figures some shit
and
out.
then you
know?
see him with his son. So
Yeah.
him, I can't remember his name, the kid, Kevin Gordy.
Yeah,
Gordo,
and that's
Gordy or whatever. And Richard Dreyfuss ends up playing
what's his
him
name?
as an
It was his
adult.
name from Star Trek.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Will Wheaton.
Will
Will
Wheaton.
Wheaton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will Wheaton.
Young Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
So anyway, mine is definitely Stand By Me. Not that Big doesn't get, a gold
Big
star.
Really got a bad matchup here, I think. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Big.
Oh shit.
Well, of course he did. It was on his list.
It was on
Oh,
my
true.
list, but Stand By Me was also on my list.
Okay.
For one, I know that it is a coming of age movie, but I don't see Stand By Me as that. It's more, it's almost a period piece. It's a drama.
But it's all those things.
It is. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of coming of age, especially 80s coming of age movie, is kind of comedy, that high school element, that fish out of water kind of thing. So that's not what I think of with Stand By Me, but obviously it is. But with Big, first of all, I've seen it 100 times. It's hilarious. He literally comes of age.
Yeah,
He,
And then
magic
he has
box.
sex for
Yeah.
the first time. He
Yeah.
he kind of learned, or
he gets a job. And
yeah, he has to get a job.
learns
He-
responsibility.
You mean a
Kinda-
sleepover? Well, I get the top bunk.
Yeah.
no, he says I get to be on top.
that's right. Yeah.
He's like, okay,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. But he kind of grows away from his
baby
friend.
corn's the best too. I mean, it's a silly little thing. You know, that baby corn like that.
Yeah. Now in the end, he wants to go back and be a kid again, but he's still.
Don't we all?
Yeah, he can't overcome that. So I'm going big. Okay. I know it's gonna lose here, but
it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree
with anything. Fair fight.
With anything you said.
Well,
Big's it's a great movie. And it's Tom Hanks. He was America's sweetheart, right?
He is.
But I think Stand By Me is I don't know, just relate to it more. I don't know if I relate to it. It's just more memorable. It had more of an impact on me. Big was funny. It was good. But Stand By Me had like a
it tugs at your heartstrings.
Impact,
yeah.
Tugged
at my heartstrings.
Yeah. So I'm going to vote for Stand By Me. And
so it won.
Sorry. Yep. Stand By Me moves on. Woo-hoo. Next, we'll go over here. We have Say Anything up against Pretty in Pink.
Why'd you do that?
I didn't do shit. It was random.
That is so ignorant.
So, well, you know,
now you
understand what the whammy is, right?
Wait, how do I work that?
Yeah, you get it one time.
You get one time throughout the whole contest. If your movie's going to lose, let's say Jared and I.
They're both my movies.
Okay, but let's say you really want Pretty in Pink to move on. Let's say, and Jared and I both vote first, and we vote for Say Anything. And you're like, well, fuck, now Pretty in Pink's going to lose, and I really want to move on. You can whammy all of our shit. You get 3 fucking votes, and your shit moves on.
One time.
You use it one time throughout the contest. So you have to use it wisely.
Like,
right?
I almost used it on Big.
Do I get to hear the other matchups first?
Well...
Or is that cheating?
I could. I would... I mean, I can tell you. You got Breakfast Club and Dirty Dancing. You got St. Elmo's Fire versus Adventures in Babysitting. Satisfaction versus Ferris Bueller. Red Dawn versus Dead Poet Society, Weird Science versus Outsiders, and Goonies versus The Karate Kid.
Okay.
Those are your other
matchups.
matchups.
Or the final
round, you can use it in any round. You can use it in the final. You can use it in the first round.
But I have to put the whammy on the one we're talking about, though.
Right. I would wait until all the votes are cast,
and then I can go back and I can whammy what I want. Right.
Yeah.
But
not all the votes for this movie. Right. Once we say, okay, that's what's moving on, you're done. No, you can't use the whammy anymore.
Okay, so I got a whammy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was thinking, like you said, you could wait until the whole first round is done and then say, you know what, I want Pretty in Pink to go on.
But then it would change the course of everything because
what if the rest of her movies they move on and she's like, oh, I don't even need to use
Well, because we don't really have any rules. We've made this up as we went along this entire time.
Okay, fine. You got to use it now or not.
So I'm using it because I want them both to stay.
Well, hold on.
No, hands down.
They can't both stay.
Yet.
They can't both stay.
Yeah, only one can move on.
Only one can move on.
I don't like your fucking rules.
We can't move them both on.
Only one can move on. But it's like you have to, but it's one that, if one of yours is going to lose.
Have you played sports before? Do you know how tournaments work?
No. I just participated.
All right, so we're gonna go on and vote. So Say Anything up against Pretty in Pink. I'll go first.
Yeah.
I vote for Say Anything.
I knew he was. I knew it.
It's a great movie.
No, you're right.
And it's not just John Cusack coming of age. It's Ione Skye. Mm-hmm. It's the dad who's going through some serious shit.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and even the female friend of John Cusack, she's
figuring her shit out.
Yeah, she's got a lot of shit going on. They all do, and and it's just it's sound from start to finish. The soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks of the 80s.
My first experience with Jeremy Piven.
It's great. It's a great.
It's an excellent movie.
All the way around.
Right. Yep, you're right.
And I don't even know who the director was. It wasn't John Hughes, was it?
I have it. Cameron Crowe.
Oh yeah.
Wow, okay.
One of his first.
Yeah. So I mean, it's great. So anyway, Say Anything is my vote.
Okay.
You want
to
go
ahead.
All right.
It's my bracket.
Yeah,
so
I didn't really, growing up, I didn't care for either of these movies. Okay. I wasn't a John Cusack fan. Okay. I love him now, but growing up, he just always weirded me out. And I never
He always played quirky characters, so I can see that.
Sport of the future.
And I didn't like Molly Ringwald that much growing up either. So
you had something against the Gingers. Huh?
It might have been that.
It's rough.
Daywalkers.
Yeah.
Watch out for them.
But looking back on it now, I think I prefer Pretty in Pink.
Really?
Wow.
Oh shit! It's all on you.
Wow. Okay.
So you really can't. You wouldn't use your whammy here because you get to make the decision anyway.
Vote's on you anyway.
But what really sucks is that both of them are just like in my top 3. They're 1 and 2.
Well, yeah.
So that's hard for me because Say Anything is more mature than Pretty in Pink, but then Pretty in Pink is so relevant. and I think that's what I like about it. Like
Pretty in Pink's got great music too. It's got
fantastic music.
Yeah,
it's
some
got
good shit.
like the whole story is just.
I just want to point out
exactly.
you have a pink shirt on.
How about that?
See?
Yeah,
Symbolism,
it's meant to be.
right?
Well, and so
How can you argue with Otis Redding?
it's my favorite scene when Duckie dances in the record store.
Try a Little Tenderness.
Tracks. That's the name of the record store. Just FYI. I liked the fashion because when I was in middle school and high school, that's the shit we wore.
Yeah.
So not only was the movie about this girl kind of doing her own thing or whatever.
Yeah, you weren't making your own shit though. Mom was taking you to Benetton.
No, it was actually the Limited.
Whatever.
But my point is though is that the movie set the tone for a lot of girls. It spoke to young girls.
Mm-hmm.
So
What's your vote?
That's what I'm hearing.
Pretty in Pink.
Yep.
Oh Jesus!
I can't believe I bumped Say Anything, but I just
The 2
I might
seed.
whammy that.
Pretty in Pink spoke to me. Not that Say Anything didn't, but in a different way.
Man,
I know that's rough. That was a tough one. That was hard.
yeah, I'm not going to use my whammy, but that's a tough one. All right, next
Choosing not to
we're going to
do
go
that.
down to the bottom left here. We're going to go with Red Dawn and Dead Poets Society.
Get ready for a whammy.
They're both mine. I think I put them both
think
on
No,
the
you
list.
did. You
Yep.
put them both down.
And they're both movies that you guys wouldn't have considered, I don't think,
No.
as
Dead Poet
coming
Society
of age.
might have made my long list, but it got scratched.
Yeah.
If I was going to have a list of 66, it might have made my list.
I really don't have a list of 66. I have a list of about 10. I had the big list is 66, and I
There's a big
highlighted about 10.
All right.
And those 10 are the ones that I picked from here. So, I'll go first. Which you think I'm going to whammy for Red Dawn. I'm not, tied down to that one. I think it's a great movie, and I definitely think it's a coming of age. I think it's a great movie. It defines the 80s to some degree, almost like Rocky IV. I mean, it's the Ruskies, it's Invasion. That scene when they're all sitting in class looking out the window and they're all the paratroopers are coming in. It's like that shit scared the hell out of me, man. I mean, whenever 9/11 happened, those visions went through my head like, oh fuck, we're under attack. This is Red Dawn. Head for the fucking mountains, Not even joking.
Take Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, where is Patrick Swayze when I need him? So, but Dead Poets Society is an endearing movie. Robin Williams is one of my favorite people in the world. It has great lines in it, a barbaric yawp, and oh Captain, my Captain, and all those things. So I gotta vote for Dead Poets Society. Because
How about you?
It's more of a coming of age story too. It's more of the happy, ish.
Yeah.
Right. It's dark, but
It is dark.
yeah, it's this young man truly coming of age. Whereas Red Dawn is warfare and a group of kids going through hell and
Right.
coming out damaged at the end.
Sure.
You know.
So me. So I'm gonna go with Dead Poet Society as well. I already told you that it's kind of dark and a little bit heavy, but at the same time, I think it's more coming of age than in my opinion, Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Don't matter what you say.
It doesn't matter, but I want to weigh in anyway.
Okay.
Sure.
I do think neither of those movies would have occurred to me as coming of age, but
You've seen
now
Dead Poet
that you've
Society,
pointed
though,
it
yeah.
out, I almost have to lean with Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely a bunch of kids.
You
who
just
have
want to be
become-
counterculture, Jared.
They have to become
Contrarian.
adults overnight. They have to. Their parents are literally locked up, and they have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
control
don't
and-
disagree, but I
But
still, yeah.
But I like Dead Poets Society.
Yeah, it's just so sad.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, we'll move on.
Dead
so
Poets
Dead Poets
Society
Society is there. We're gonna move over here now. You're gonna like this one. Satisfaction. And sorry for the tisk, Ferris Bueller's Day
Okay, so
Off.
that's not fair because you guys haven't seen Satisfaction.
I have. I don't remember it very well because I think I watched it one time. It's probably one of those movies where you told me to get out because it's not a movie for boys.
That's possible.
She did that shit all the time.
That's possible.
Not a movie for boys.
Yeah, she did that with Facts of Life. I wasn't allowed to watch the first 2 seasons of Facts of Life because it was a girl's show.
Oh, he watched it.
I know
wanted
he
to.
did. Yeah.
I mean,
well, he's
yeah.
watched it all now.
Yeah, but
And you're welcome.
She was mean. And then what was Revenge of the Nerds was on my list as a coming of age, and that's one that you came on and you can't watch this.
Well, it had boobies in
and
it.
had Bush.
She's just watching out for you,
Well, right, but
I was trying to protect
No,
you.
I remember you said he's back there watching the dirty, and you can't. And I'm like, well, why does she get to watch? And I think Pat or Dad said, because she's got that stuff.
I don't remember that. That's disturbing. That's disturbing.
Well, how come she can watch it? Because she's seen that. She's got that stuff. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. I'm like, fair enough. They got a good point there.
Okay.
If it was a movie with all about wieners, then they'd probably let me watch it. But I don't think I'd want to watch that.
I don't want to watch anything about wieners.
No.
Okay, so
wieners are not fun.
Me? Do I get to go?
Sure. Wait. Yeah, we can go there. Yeah.
So
Satisfaction, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Well, since nobody else has seen Satisfaction, I'll give a brief synopsis. I think I already did, though.
A little bit, yeah. There's a band.
Yeah, but they all have to grow
Girl
up like
band.
super fast and then make this like they go through some shit. They get into a fight. You know, one of them falls in love with an older man, and then he doesn't take her seriously, and she gets pissed off. And then there's a dog involved, and a girl who sings to a dog, and it's just fucking cool.
All right.
And then they all realize that their big dream to go to Europe and play the same circuit, you know, like of shitty dive bars and staying in lean-tos. It sounds all glorious and great, but then in reality, they need to go to school.
Life
they need to
gets
get
in
a
the
job.
way.
They
Right.
need to take care of their parents. They need to. So it is truly coming of age. So in my opinion, it's more coming of age than Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Not necessarily a better movie. Soundtrack was stellar.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to go with Satisfaction. I know it's going to lose, but that's okay. Satisfaction for me.
Yeah. You want to go?
Sure.
Go.
Derp.
Never seen Satisfaction. Yeah. But we all kind of talked about Ferris Bueller was sort of a stretch. Like Ferris isn't exactly coming of age, and he does a little
bit.
By the end, he matures, you know, and he kind of
He
realizes
learns some responsibility. He learns not to take advantage of his friends.
Right.
He
Right.
realizes
what's important in life.
But it's more Cameron's story
Well, right, but
about coming of age.
Right.
But Ferris also, when he watches Cameron just fucking implode, I mean, I think you see
it.
Ferris like, oh, you know, this, I've got it really good. This is my best friend, and he's got it really bad.
Sure.
He's living a rough
No,
life,
you're right.
and
I don't disagree. I don't disagree that it doesn't have it in there.
Yeah.
I just don't think that it's at the forefront.
I'm with you.
But
And
I
think
want it to win, so Ferris
probably-
Bueller.
And I think Satisfaction does have more of it, but
You're going to choose Ferris Bueller. It's okay.
yeah,
I'm not going to win.
Well, I don't think it's going to matter anyway, because by the time we get down,
I would just like...
it's going to lose eventually anyway. Ferris
So-
Bueller's going to lose eventually anyway, I think.
Just take a moment, anytime you can think about it, pull up the movie. I don't even know if it's on Netflix.
Probably not.
I've caught it on TBS a few times and random shit like that. So give it a go, because I feel like you would sit back and be like,
It
I
sounds
get
like
it.
something I would like to watch.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how you'd be like, okay, it's not great acting. It's actually really bad acting. if
I'm
you
not
think
sure you
about
could
it.
ever say Justine Bateman was great acting
No,
in anything,
and it was.
but, you know.
I don't know if Mystic
But I
Pizza
still
came
like her,
first, or
'cause-
if Mystic Pizza came after, because it didn't make my list because it was 90s. But it was Julia Roberts' first film, I believe. And
I think it was still 80s, though. Mystic Pizza.
I don't think it was the 80s, because I think I looked it up. I think I wanted it to
I
make.
felt
my
like
All
I
right.
saw it on every
Focus,
list
children.
of movies. But anyway.
We're gonna move on. Breakfast
moving on.
Club,
And maybe I didn't think it was coming of age. Sorry,
Yeah.
Breakfast Club, and Dirty Dancing.
I don't want to go first.
Both
Yeah,
classics. I'll
they
go
are
first.
both very
Okay.
good movies. I know where my vote is.
Same.
Yeah.
I think we all do, honestly.
Are we all going Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has to be. Yeah.
I mean, Dirty Dancing's an excellent movie, awesome music,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, great actors and actresses, but
I don't even think there's any reason to
Breakfast
discuss
Club?
it any further. Breakfast
mean,
Club is probably
Yeah.
it's
That-
top contender here.
that
I think for
ending
this.
scene, whenever he's reading the letter and everybody's having their moment and all that maturity happened
Yeah.
and they overcame all that diversity of the cliques and whatnot.
Yeah,
It kind of
And then-
defines this genre. I mean, it
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Exactly. And then you've got not Judd Hirsch, but Judd Nelson.
right.
You know,
Boy, it'd be a whole
throwing
different
his arm
movie if Judd
up,
Hirsch was in it.
right?
You know,
Be a little awkward
Right.
seeing him, you know, kiss Kirstie Alley. Kirstie
a
Alley.
little bit. Kirstie Alley.
I
what
threw
the
it
fuck
out.
is
Like,
your wrong?
no, I did it like forget it.
Yeah.
I did it out of sarcasm
I
because I
gotcha.
said, fuck it.
I gotcha.
What's our last? Oh, that's not the last. We got
It's
a
not.
couple
We got
more.
a couple more. Yeah, St. Elmo's Fire, and
Did you see
adventure
that?
and Adventures in
Parts of
Babysitting.
Oh, I know what I'm going with here.
Yeah, you put Adventures in
I
Babysitting
will
on the
say
list.
several people, by several, 3 or 4, at the office today, as we discussed this topic, we all agreed St. Elmo's Fire was not a very good movie. None of us
Get out.
liked it.
It's his
Get the fuck out. I don't
his
care.
studio.
I don't care. Have you ever heard the soundtrack?
I've heard
John
the
Parr.
song.
Yeah.
Oh, come back and
Man
talk
in
to
Motion.
me after you listen to all the music. Even just the jazz
Yeah,
parts
honestly,
of it.
I'm just not exposed to that movie enough to know enough
Take
about
a
it.
looky-loo. I think you'll change your
What year was
mind.
it? It was at 84, something like that? St. Elmo's Fire?
Let's see. I've got it.
85.
85, yeah. Okay.
But I'm just going to say one thing. Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just going to
she's-
say
she-
several things.
Moving on.
And she's still out there. She's in a new show called The Guys, I think.
The Boys.
The Boys, yeah, about the superheroes
Yep.
or whatever. You watching that? Yeah, I
2
got
episodes of it.
Yeah, I'm about the same spot. I kind of keep falling
She can
asleep.
also still
but,
do a back handspring.
No shit.
She was on Ellen.
How
So
about
anyway,
that?
I'm going to say
St. Elmo's
several
Fire.
people because St. Elmo's Fire had Rob Lowe and
Ali Sheedy.
Ali Sheedy, and it had Judd Nelson, and it had Demi Moore, and it had Andrew McCarthy, and it had...
Has anyone aged more gracefully than Rob Lowe?
No.
I mean, the guy looks
know.
He looks
essentially the same.
fantastic. And in that movie,
He was in the DirecTV commercials, wasn't he?
He
He was a
was.
handsome
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
he is so good looking, and his
Yeah.
son
He
looks
was
just
in,
like him.
Super Troopers
Just like
2.
him.
Huh.
And he was also in Tommy Boy, which, if
Yeah.
we can just take a moment,
Good.
Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to pour one. No, I'm not going to.
Yeah, it'll fuck up the carpet. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm saying St. Elmo's Fire.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
It's a no-brainer for me. I didn't think that Adventures in Babysitting was at all coming of age.
Well,
Oh,
I
totally
felt like
is.
it was up there. It was synonymous, in my opinion, with Ferris
Yeah.
Bueller's Day Off. It was an adventure, and it was lessons learned, but not necessarily coming of age.
I will defend it a little bit here before you go, Ryan.
Adventures of Babysitting you're
Yeah.
defending?
So, for one, you had the babysitter, Elizabeth Shue. So
Clearly,
she
he has a
had
fucking
to-
crush on Elizabeth Shue.
Right. Well, she had to mature a little, right? She went from
Sure.
just watching these kids who she barely even paid attention to like having to save their lives and get them through the night. You
Thor
had
technically saved their
the
lives.
kid
Oh, sure, yeah.
who I forget his name, but that had the crush on her.
Right.
Who definitely went from this
The story's about him.
Right,
More than it is about anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he even matures in her eyes. She appreciates who he is.
I don't disagree
Even the
with
little
any of
girl,
it.
has to kind of go from
Right.
being just a punk little kid
To realizing that Thor's not real.
Right,
And
right.
then they all clean up the house at the end. Like, what more maturity can you ask for than that before
And
the parents get
Here's
home?
the thing.
I'm
It
not
doesn't-
disagreeing with any of
It
it.
doesn't matter which one I vote for because it's going to lose. Whatever I pick is going to lose to either Ferris
Breakfast Club.
Bueller or the Breakfast
Yeah.
Club. So anyway, I shouldn't be playing that way. I would pick Adventures in Babysitting.
Whammy!
Oh,
wow.
Okay. But you can't whammy it beyond this.
I don't care. I don't have anything
Alright,
else to whammy.
so-
St. Elmo's Fire, staying
But
in.
you could whammy next round, like if.
But then
something
St.
else-
Elmo's Fire won't be there for her to whammy.
Yeah, no, I got to hold on to St. Elmo's
Right,
Fire.
if that's the one she wants. But I'm just saying, when Pretty in Pink loses to Breakfast Club, you could whammy Pretty in Pink.
All right.
I'd be
All
okay
right,
with
whatever.
either one of them,
That's
though.
fine. Okay.
All right. So
Moving
St.
on.
Elmo's Fire. Let's
We're just
whammy.
gonna point out we're like 45 minutes.
That's
in.
usually how this goes.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, the
The
next few
first
rounds will go
round,
quick.
first round takes forever. The second round, move on quickly. Goonies and the Karate Kid.
Wow.
This is hard.
You go first.
Wow.
Take it away.
I gotta go Goonies. I mean, I love the
Yeah.
Karate Kid. And,
Right.
It's
Elizabeth
definitely-
Shue.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you a poster.
Please do.
But the Goonies is like, the Goonies is the quintessential.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I agree.
It's great. There's just so many good things. I
Yeah.
mean, and if look, I'm not going to go into any more detail because everybody's probably seen it, and if you haven't seen it, then
You should
I
see
don't
it.
want to be friends with you, and you should, or
Exactly.
unless you go see it soon.
Yeah, no.
So Goonies is my vote.
Yeah, I'm going to go Goonies as well. It's
Okay.
easy
Yeah,
for me.
I loved Karate Kid. I've reenacted those scenes so many times with my brother. But Goonies, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Weird Science and Outsiders.
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Outsiders.
Really?
I'm not sure. I've seen all of it one time through. Like, I've seen it in parts.
It's really good. It's not funny.
Yeah.
There's
Not
parts of
funny
it-
at all?
There's parts that are kind of humorous,
So
but it's
heavy,
not a comedy.
so, like,
I'm going to go Weird Science. You got Anthony Michael Hall. I don't know the other kid's name.
Yeah, no one does.
That's all he
no one
did.
does. It's Ian. It's something Ian something something. It's a weird. He's got a weird name, but and he
He was
never.
quiet.
Kelly LeBrock.
Yeah, he never did anything
I
else.
mean, what? Oh, the other
Ian.
kid.
Ian,
Yeah,
whatever
right,
the hell his
right.
name is. Kelly LeBrock, and it's got Robert Downey Jr.
and it's got Bill Paxton,
And it's got Bill
Right,
Paxton.
right.
And it's got the two cute broads. And
which never did anything after that either. I
no,
don't think.
and I was all about the brunette though. That movie was what made me realize, like, okay, I don't like blondes. I like brunettes. I like that. I want that right there. That's what I'm after. And I wasn't even that big. I mean, Kelly LeBrock was great. But I was kind of like Wyatt and what was the other ones? Wyatt and Gary. I was kind of like Wyatt and Gary. Like,
Gary.
I don't really care about her. She was cool to create and everything like that. But like, they wanted the girls. They wanted the cute girls, and yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, is that our last first round matchup?
Give me the keys. Lisa, he ain't even got a license, Lisa.
Give me the keys.
So,
or no, we didn't decide.
We never voted on it.
What was the other one?
Weird Science
and Outsiders.
I voted Weird Science.
I do too. And you don't have a whammy, so Weird Science is moving on.
Oh my God, you guys are dumb.
You guys are so dumb.
That is so dumb, because The Outsiders is hands down a better movie.
So now we don't have to go into much detail unless you really want to battle for it here, right?
Specific matchups.
Which hill do you want to die on here at this point, right? So
number one,
we have Stand By Me up again. This is tough. This gets really hard at this point. Yep. Rebecca, you need to pay attention. Damn it!
I am paying attention. I can multitask. I have ovaries. Go.
Wow.
I thought she was texting that.
I thought so too. Send.
I have ovaries.
I texted thank you while I said I have ovaries.
All right.
Thank you.
Stand By Me and Goonies.
Mm-hmm.
So you want me to make this decision
This is our
first?
second round matchup, the first of the second round matchup, and we have Stand By Me up against the Goonies. This gets a lot tougher.
It does get a lot tougher, but I think I gotta go with the Goonies. And not that the same lessons and whatever weren't taught there, but I feel like what you said earlier, Stand By Me is a little bit more of a darker kind of period piece. It has to appeal to you off the jump, whereas the Goonies, everybody likes the Goonies.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know the Truffle Shuffle, man. Come on. So got to go with the Goonies.
Do you want to go, Ryan?
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think I gotta agree with Beck. I think Goonies moves on. I love them both, but
yeah, I was
Goonies
gonna say
is a better
Goonies
one
for the same reasons.
Yeah,
it's a more lighthearted, same principle basically. These kids go on an adventure.
Just a little easier to watch,
right? And it's fun for everyone. It's got it all.
And no one dies besides One-Eyed Willie, and he was already dead a long time ago.
Well, no one dies in Stand By Me except for the kid that's already dead. The movie starts.
Ray Brower was the whole was the only dead and then the brother John Cusack.
Right.
So
yeah. Well, fine.
There's a lot of death. It's Stephen King. He likes dead things.
He does. He does like dead things. You've seen the preview for It?
Shh. I just stopped thinking about it. I don't want to think about it anymore.
Shit.
You did not read the book.
Oh, yeah.
No, I haven't read the book.
This is why Mom made me wait to read the book, and then I snuck reading the book.
Oh my God.
And I regretted it
instantly. We saw the preview. We went and saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was a great movie.
That looks good.
And we saw the preview, and we're watching it. My wife was she's like, "Oh fuck no." Oh, fuck no. And she watched the first one.
That's the first trailer. Have you seen the second trailer?
I don't think I have.
It's
but
even creepier.
It was. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. That's the only words that I can think of to explain.
With the old lady that comes walking across the floor.
Yeah, floating, kind of floating. I don't know, that weird fucking Pennywise walk. That.
You should read the book.
Oh my God! I want to see the movie. I want to watch the other movie again. But I need a whoopee or something. Anyway.
No, you will. You might be sucking your thumb and rocking back and forth by the time you're finished watching it.
I can't. I don't know. I don't do scary movies by myself. And I'll have to
Especially not at night.
90s horror movies after.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. All right. So what do we say? We got Goonies. That Weird Science. Oh man, and Dead Poets Society. Oh man, this is a tough one. But go ahead. Go ahead. You go first.
Nope.
You go first.
Oh gosh, I guess coming of age. You almost have to go Dead Poets Society.
I don't know, man.
I'm not sure how much they come of age in Weird Science.
Well, I mean, they learn how to navigate the social society, the social fabric. They were such awkward nerds, and they didn't know how to
overcome it.
Oh yeah, how to overcome it, and Lisa, helps them navigate those waters and makes them cool and teaches them how to fucking relax and just be themselves, and everything works out in the end. I
mean, I agree, and it's on my list, and Dead Poets Society was not on my list, but when I'm putting them head to head, I almost have. I don't know. I'm going Dead Poets Society.
Really? Okay. Oh shit. I have to vote for Weird Science. and mainly because I like to laugh.
Yeah, that's a valid reason.
And I mean, I like them both, but if I'm
Says
gonna,
the guy that put Red Dawn on his
well,
list.
sure, but if I have to pick movies that I'm going to sit down and watch over and over and over again, I mean, I own Weird Science on Blu-ray and VHS somewhere. So, I mean, it's up there. It's way up there. It's
I believe you said it was in your top 3 of all movies.
Maybe not all movies.
Top 10, maybe?
It's definitely top 10 of all movies.
Okay.
Most definitely. But
I feel responsible for that.
top 3 is I'd say so. But top 3 is probably Stripes, The Blues Brothers,
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack is right in there. Yeah. Those are good ones. Rocky, can't forget Rocky.
God,
all the Rockies, you know.
Even the bad ones. I'm still Team Rocky.
Right.
Bad ones.
Yeah. If you even like the bad Rockies, you're really a Rocky fan.
And I do. I like the bad ones.
Okay.
All right.
You have to weigh in here, Beck.
Even though I just wrote it down anyway.
What'd you write down?
I wrote down Weird Science because as I said it, I wrote it down. But I can scratch it out if you want to choose Dead Poet Society.
I mean, I don't like the pressure.
Yeah, it sucks being the fucking tiebreaker.
I don't. I'm sorry. You're going to have to re-race because I'm going to go with Dead Poet Society.
No, I'm not, because I'm going to fucking whammy that shit.
Whammy!
Okay.
So, Weird Science moves on. I was confident writing that down.
All right.
So you knew you were going to whammy it.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's cool. That's cool.
Also, I don't like scratching shit out. I like to have it kind of neat and tidy. But no, I would have whammied it no matter what. It's a great movie.
It's not that it's not a great movie. I just, when you match the two of them up, I felt the same way that Jared
Is that John Hughes?
What is?
Weird Science.
I don't think so. Hang on. I have it.
No.
Or maybe I don't. Maybe it didn't make the big list.
Okay. That's all right.
If only there was a way we could look it up.
Right.
Wish we had a special app or something.
Yeah. If there was only like a database of movies on the internet.
That was generally
they could call it the Internet Movie Database.
That was generally like right at your fingertips.
It can't be. Well, I guess it could because it's 85.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking.
Pardon me.
Man, Kelly LeBrock still looks good.
No.
Well, in this photo,
I feel like you're looking at an old picture because now she's a cow.
What?
Yeah.
Just ruined everything.
John Hughes.
See,
look at you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's represented at least, right?
Now I'm going to look up Kelly LeBrock.
He still could be represented.
You can't say 80s anything without John Hughes being a part of it.
Right. And he's still very heavily involved in this. Next one, Pretty in Pink, up against Breakfast Club.
That's tough.
This is tough.
That's tough. Who has to go first on this one? You.
Breakfast Club. Kind of for the same reason I like to laugh. Pretty in Pink's funny, but it ain't as funny as Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club has a lot of good moments in it.
You're right. Oof. Yeah. Jared, would you like to weigh in next?
I will also agree, partly because, like I said, I didn't really like Pretty in Pink that much growing up, but Breakfast Club,
and Pretty in Pink, the moments, they had great moments. The moment with Duckie dancing to Try a Little Tenderness is an epic classic movie moment that'll be like in Oscar videos, tribute videos, and stuff like that. It's a great moment, but the movie as a whole, it was definitely a female-oriented movie.
It was definitely a chick flick. You can say it. It's fine. I think that like when I break it all down, it was definitely geared more towards females.
Yeah, but it was still good. It's just
for sure.
You know, and also I don't know, was Pretty in Pink the last? When what order did they come out? So
I'm not certain
of all the Molly Ringwald movies, right?
So we got 16 Candles was 84. Breakfast Club, what did we say that was 85?
Yes.
Pretty in Pink was 86.
So there you go.
So it was like the last of. I think I was tired of her by then. Like she
got older, and then he tried to do that other one. So Andrew McCarthy and Molly Ringwald did one called All the Pretty Horses or something like that.
Stupid. It sucked.
And it was a turd. Yeah, it was a big turd. So
interesting anecdote. The last thing I recall of Molly Ringwald, and this is going way back, but it was like mid '90s when she was past her '80s prime.
Right.
She was in some movie where she had AIDS. And
I don't remember that at all.
She was dating some guy, and they were trying to like make it work, and they had sex with like 2 condoms, and she was all happy because he loved her and blah blah blah. Yeah. And then she caught him in the bathroom scrubbing vigorously to try to get the
I think
AIDS
I remember
off.
that. I think
like
I
a
remember that.
Lifetime
He was
movie.
so hurt
Yeah.
that he didn't really,
Okay.
he
I
wasn't
feel like
okay
I
with it.
remember that. There was
Molly Ringwald, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
Molly Ringwald also did a movie called Playing for Keeps.
yeah.
It was also in the 80s. I can't recall the name of the kid who played alongside of her whenever, teen pregnancy.
Right. Okay.
So that should have probably made
It's
my
just called
list.
Four Keeps.
Four Keeps, sorry.
In 1988.
Yeah.
And
it almost made my list, but I figured it would be obscure enough that you guys
Yeah.
wouldn't have ever even heard of it. But she did well in that. She did, in my opinion, she did well in that. It wasn't
listen
a big
to this
box
though.
office hit.
So Molly Ringwald did. I pulled it up on the IMDb here. So she did, Different Strokes and The Facts of Life. She was the same character in both of those, and that's where The Facts of Life was actually her. She was the beginning of it.
Yeah.
What?
And then ended up leaving the show,
I
and
did
they
not know
replaced
that.
her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she was in a movie called Tempest.
Saw it.
She was in a movie called Packing It In. It's a TV movie. Never heard of it.
Never heard of that one.
She was in a movie called Space Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone.
Ooh, that
Right.
sounds porny.
Right?
Feels like something I would have watched.
Feel free to Google that one on your own.
On Pornhub.
Then get this. That was 83. 1984, 16 Candles. 1985, The Breakfast Club. 1985, Surviving a TV Movie. 1986, Pretty in Pink. So within a year and a half, 84, 85, 86, 3 years really, she does 3 of the greatest 80s movies.
Okay, so
all
you
time.
know why, though.
Because John Hughes had a hard-on for her.
He saw her in something and
Maybe it was
rewrote
Space
films
Hunter
for
Adventures in the
her
Forbidden Zone.
specifically, like
Yeah.
creating the characters to specifically be geared towards her.
Right, but then she really wasn't in much good after that. The Pickup Artist, which is Robert Downey Jr.
I did see that.
Yeah, I think I've seen it too. Then the one you mentioned, For Keeps, then Fresh Horses.
Fresh Horses was bad.
Yeah. Strike It Rich. Betsy's Wedding.
Betsy's Wedding was okay.
Now we're in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then, Face the Music.
And then she did Secret Life of the American Teenager, which she wasn't horrible in that, but
Yeah, I
she
don't
wasn't
even see
great
that
in
on
that.
here. Did
you
they-
know, it was an ABC Family
Okay.
show.
I feel like we should move on.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, when I was researching this, I was like, it was interesting to me. It was like her career really only lasted 3 years.
Yeah,
But-
In my
it was
opinion,
short, yeah.
you know.
The movies that she did are timeless,
I think you're right.
which is why
I
she
think
stays
you're right.
relevant.
Yeah. Well, both of these movies have. This is the Molly Ringwald category here. We are in the Pretty in Pink Breakfast Club bracket. So
I got to go with Breakfast Club. I don't want to beat around the bush.
all right.
And it's not for any other reason than what we said. I think Pretty in Pink's more of a chick flick.
The chicks
Breakfast
can hold me
Club.
smoke.
Yeah, Breakfast Club makes you laugh.
Yeah.
What's next?
Moving on.
What's he saying? Well, we could smoke it, but it's in Johnson's shorts. So,
God, it's a good movie.
you can do it on the boat. Gee, Dad. St. Elmo's
Dad.
St. Elmo's Fire against Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
All right, well, this sucks because
You're whammied out. You're
Ferris.
it's because you guys didn't frickin' see it.
well,
Anyone?
yeah.
Whatever.
Anyone?
St. Elmo's Fire.
FBDO.
St. Elmo's Fire.
All right, we are in the final four. We have The Goonies, The Breakfast Club, Weird Science, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Those are the 4 films. Goonies is up against Weird Science. This is a matchup for the ages. What say you?
Goonies.
Really?
Hands down.
That was
God
quick.
damn it.
Hands down, Goonies.
Wow. Oh, I don't know what to do here because I don't know what Ryan's going to do either.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
No, you go ahead.
Pressure.
I'm thinking hard, but
And you already used your whammy.
I did.
Don't hurt anything.
I was going to go Goonies.
You know what? I would go Goonies too. As much I whammied Weird Science to get here, but it's really hard to make an argument against the Goonies.
Goonies,
The
yep.
Goonies never die.
Goonies never say die.
Yeah, whatever.
I have a shirt.
So we have Breakfast Club against Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And
Man.
I will go first
Okay.
on this one, and I will say The Breakfast Club. Because everybody was bitching about Ferris Bueller that it's not a coming of age, but it made it to the final four.
Yeah.
We keep moving
Right.
it on.
Because it keeps going up against the movies that only I have
well,
seen.
true. Satisfaction saying it had good matchups. Very
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
You put it in another part of the bracket, and Ferris
It probably
would not
wouldn't have made
it
it that
Yeah.
far. No.
We would have needed to have a fundraising thing to save Ferris. Now, who'd have thunk of
He
that?
needs a kidney.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're going to say, so go ahead.
Okay.
Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I'm going to go with The Breakfast Club.
Yeah. As much as if of those two movies, if I had to watch one, I'd watch Ferris Bueller.
You know what? As would I. But
as far as coming of age movies, yeah, Breakfast Club.
Breakfast
for sure.
Club.
Okay. And here for the championship, the Goonies.
Wow.
Up again. This should be a cartoon, like fucking fight. You know, the Goonies up against the Breakfast Club. Who would win that fight? Like if really it was a fight, like you put them in a fucking cage match together.
Honestly, the Goonies would win.
I think so too. The Breakfast Club was a bunch of privileged bastards.
And by the end of the movie, they had Sloth on their side.
Right. You're not going to beat Sloth.
I love Chunk. All right, so we got to choose.
This is an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
It's a good matchup.
You've got what is arguably the defining movie of the coming-of-age 80s genre, which is Breakfast Club, against, one of the most iconic adventure coming-of-age movies. Yeah.
Oof.
No,
I don't want to go first.
We can't call it a tie. We gotta come up with a winner. I'll go first, and I'm going to say The Goonies, and I don't really have a whole lot of reasoning behind it, other than
interesting.
You like it better than The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's because they're younger. It's probably they're more. I don't know. Maybe you're rooting for them a little bit more. In The Breakfast Club, you're not really. I don't know that I was really rooting for anybody except for Anthony Michael Hall.
You're not rooting for Bender? I mean, everybody's rooting for Bender.
A little bit. You know who there's been a lot of analysis done about this. The real hero in that movie is the fucking janitor. I mean, he's
he's
really the only one with his shit together.
Yeah.
Everybody else is a complete fuck up. And the fucking principal and all the kids are all fuck ups.
He's not the principal. He's
a guidance counselor, teacher, whatever he is.
But I think
Raided
that
Johnny
they
Cash's
all.
closet.
But I feel like they all.
Is it Neil Diamond's closet or Johnny Cash's
Neil
closet?
Diamond's closet.
Yeah.
I feel like they all figure their shit out though, like are on the way to figuring their shit out, which is what the coming of age part to me was. Is that each one of them has recognized, like it says in the letter, I'm a princess.
Yeah.
I'm a jock or whatever it is. Like he taped someone's buns together.
Right.
And that was a really shitty thing to do, but funny. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
And not that the Goonies doesn't have the same thing, in my opinion, but
every one of those kids, and including Sloth, you're rooting for them. You're rooting for them from the jump. They're all endearing. They're all, you're a Goonie from the jump.
No, you're right.
And the Breakfast Club, you're kind of like, man, Bender's a dick. And boy, Molly Ringwald's kind of a privileged little snobby bitch. And what's his name? Emilio Estevez is kind of a cocksucker. And Ali Sheedy, I don't know what the fuck's going on with her, but she's out there, right? The only one that's really you got anything going for him at the beginning is Anthony Michael Hall.
And then you find out that he's disturbed as all get out.
And the janitor. The janitor's pretty good. What's his name in the movie? Damn it. It's like Gary or something like that.
Well, if I may weigh in, I'll give my vote. My vote is going to be Goonies.
Wow.
There we have it.
Goonies Never Say Die.
That's the winner. I was going to go Goonies.
Good. Glad we all agree.
Unanimous winner. In fact, I think Goonies was unanimous each round. I think each time it went up again.
I think you're probably right.
It's hard to debate against it, quite honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we...
Well, what time are we at here, Jared? What do we got?
We're a little past an hour.
Okay.
But, so let's...
Carl was the janitor.
Carl.
Yep. See you next Saturday, Carl.
You know what's funny is that the cast of that, it's a really brief cast because it's the kids, the janitor, the teacher.
You get a couple of parent like the parents like they have,
and you get the parents
moments.
when they pick them up, and so that lists Allison's father, Brian's sister, Andy's father, Claire's father, Allison's mom, Brian's mom. That's who else is listed in there,
right?
Other than
Andy.
the main
That's
characters.
Emilio Estevez character was Andy.
So I feel like this tournament was a little different. In the past, we've done trilogies or summer movies or whatever that could have been anything, right? It was so vastly different, some of those matchups. This was all very similar, and it was hard to pick one over the other.
It was fun.
It's hard. Yeah. I got 66 on a fucking list that we didn't even get to.
I could barely come up with 16. Ryan's got 66.
Well, because we narrowed it down. Exactly. In our minds, we were so specific, whereas he was very broad.
You've never seen Six Pack?
No.
That's another one you should probably give a look to.
You didn't mention Grease 2.
Because no one has seen it but me.
You and like 3 other people.
And you and me, only by default. And Joanna Holcomb.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
She had the album.
Yeah. And only reason I watched is because it was on the VHS tape before Six Pack. And I had to watch that with her before I could watch Six Pack.
And it wasn't good, but the music was catchy, and it had Adrian Zmed, who I had a huge crush on, and then Michelle Pfeiffer before she was anything.
Yeah,
and she actually sang, and she was super cute, and like everybody wanted to be like her.
Sure,
I wanted black jeans and black boots like she had on. Just.
Sure.
It was
really
a bad, good movie.
Yeah. Well, the T-Birds kind of sucked in that way. Because, like, in the first Grease, the T-Birds were cool. They were car guys. And the second one, they were motorcycle guys. They were like a motorcycle gang.
Oh, and they were made fun of. Like, everybody made fun of them.
Yeah,
even Eugene made fun of them.
Right. Yeah, it was a whole different movie.
They were
Motorcycle
stupid.
guys are cool, Ryan.
Not in Grease,
not
too,
in Grease,
they weren't.
too, no. Yeah. Anyway, there's a whole bunch.
Right.
I mean, we could do a whole another show.
Well, I feel like people
these.
could definitely differ with our opinions or weigh in. How can they weigh in, Ryan?
They could send us an email at load this podcast at gmail.com. Yeah, that's what it is. Load this podcast at gmail.com.
Look, this is when I usually shut y'all off.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, so that's why we got to keep it interesting, right? It's like, all right, they're done. Fuck it. No, I'm out. No, you could send us something on the social media at Load This Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Or you could leave a message on YouTube, which we thought we were recording this one, but we're not. You'll still be able to listen to it.
One of us dropped the ball and we didn't record video.
It's all right.
That one of us would be Jared.
He's under a lot of pressure.
We're going to do the half loaded on video.
That's right.
Change it up this time.
That's right. And we're going to drink a Truly, I think. Yeah. Or no, a white clam or whatever the fuck
White
it is.
Claw. That's what I kept saying. Is it a clam bake?
White clam.
What is that?
That sounds like a
White
Claw. Not sound good.
White Claw is 4 clams, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
That fucking flies back.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, well, let's wrap it up. I think we're done.
We're done? I don't know. I feel like we owe them more, but we'll try to do better.
Episode.
No, I think it was a good one.
What do you mean try and do better? I feel like we did a damn good job.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Damn fine job.
So let us know what you think. I gave you all that shit already. I'm done talking.
We want to thank Becca for coming in.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Sitting with us. We're going to have her back for a half-loaded episode.
Maybe more down the road. I have a feeling we're going to get like rave reviews. We're going to have people like writing in saying, bring that bitch back.
Or not. Because she's got a voice that sounds like Fran Drescher.
Nah, see, well, here, what's her name? Courtney Landrum.
I love Courtney Landrum.
Right, and I think my wife does too. I don't.
She's like my spirit animal.
I don't like her.
Why?
I don't know. Other than I've known her since like the 90s.
During the Rick Idle era.
Yeah, when she was on 106.5 and she was on with Stephen DC and those guys. And
she was intern Courtney. And I don't think she was... a lot of it's my own jealousy because I don't think she was really talented. She's hysterical.
Yeah, I don't think so. But
Whatever.
I don't think she was very talented then. And I was kind of pissed that like she was getting this opportunity that I wanted. That I wanted to be on the radio, and I don't know why she got to be on the radio, and I didn't, other than she had boobies or something like that. And also think that her voice is... I
like her voice.
I don't. It sounds
that
like...
rasp. I like it.
But listen, I mean, you can't
listen
go
to
back...
her every morning.
You can't go back and listen to the tapes from the 90s, but she doesn't sound that way. It's because she smokes probably fucking 2 packs a day.
Which is why she's my spirit animal.
Well, maybe, but... I just feel like...
I just think she's funny and she's down to earth and she's real and there's no bullshit. You know, I don't know. I just like her.
Point for me bringing that up is that some people like a female voice on a show.
Oh.
It balances things out. Because, if you got 3 guys that are talking like this, it gets, number one, everybody starts to sound the same after a while. And you have that contrast of a female's voice in there, and it's a whole different show all of a sudden.
Use a little Fran Drescher.
Yeah. Maybe not all. Don't go full Fran on us. Go like 75% Fran.
I wouldn't do that.
Anyway, that's it.
All right. Well, until next time, I'm Jared.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Rebecca.
And get a load of this.
So I listen.
Go ahead and record on this bitch.
I listen. I know exactly how it all works. You do your beer reviews,
right?
Et cetera, et cetera.
Periodically.
So I thought, I'll bring a beer because, I like beer.
Sure.
Not all beer, but I like beer.
Yeah.
So I show up and I've got 2 of this beer that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. And he tells me he bought me some spritzers.
Yeah.
Because I'm a girl.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, are you shitting me?
She brought some pretty
dark stout, and he gives me clam bake or whatever shit's called.
Black cherry white clam.
I was like, so is your sister a beer drinker? What are we going to get? He's like, Truly.
I was thinking Truly or White Claw.
I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
I like Truly. I like White Claw.
I've never had either one of them.
What I've brought if you want to,
is the antithesis of Truly or White Claw.
This is what I like in a beer.
But you like coffee.
Yes, it's a coffee milk stout. But
I mean, I'll try.
You have to try it.
I'll try it.
It's got
going in that I don't like coffee,
and that's fine. That's fine. I don't like. What is it that I don't like? What are them?
IPAs?
It tastes like it's filtered through a stinky sweat sock.
Sometimes.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah.
To me, it just really tastes like ass.
Well, you know.
So, I just found it ironic and slightly misogynistic that you decided that you were going to get me clam ale.
Not slightly. It was completely 100% misogynistic.
And that was a pricky thing to do.
Little bit,
I just want to put that out there.
Well,
that I brought manly beer.
Yeah.
And you were getting me spritzer.
I said specifically to him, I was like, well, we have our first lady on the fucking podcast, so it was the perfect time for me to have an excuse to drink Truly, because I want to try it, but I can't do it and not get my man card revoked unless I have a real good reason.
So I'm your reason.
Yeah.
I'm your beard for your Truly.
Right.
He's been wanting to drink this for a long time.
I have.
So that's
I want to try it.
And I appreciate it.
Here's the other
but
kicker.
I just want it noted. I brought a stout.
Talking about revoking your man card, I had to call someone because I didn't know whether to get Truly or White Claw and what flavor to get, because there's like fucking 100 flavors of this shit.
Who did you ask?
I called TJ.
Oh Lord.
He's on his way to Chicago.
Okay.
And he's like, and I said, well, we go through the dad stuff. I'm like, where are you? How much further do you have to go? What time do you expect to be there? And he tells me all this stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, be good and don't be stupid, be responsible. Hey, I got a question for you.
What kind of Truly do you drink?
What would you recommend, Truly or White Claw? And he goes, oh, definitely White Claw. I'm like, okay. What flavor? And I started reading them, and he goes, black cherry all day. I'm like, that was what I was going to pick.
Jesus.
So I'm like, wow, man, you know a lot about this. He's like, yeah, well, I've seen some shit. All right. Well, do you want to do it now or want to kick things off?
We can kick things off.
We'll
I'm still thirsty.
Well, okay.